This will change everything in your financial system. And there's an opportunity right now for the normal everyday person to own the picks and shovels. The key is to not try to get rich quick and not try to catch the gold, but understand the picks and shovels. What is actually happening here? What is actually changing? This is really, really important. We're moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, industrial to technical, an archaic banking system, a centralized banking system, to a decentralized banking system. And your job in this moment in time is to stop mindlessly scrolling, to lock in, to spend about 20 minutes a day. If you spend 20 minutes a day in any subject, you'll be in the top 5% of expertise. Devote 20 minutes. I would recommend an hour to 3 hours a day studying the infrastructural changes of your financial system. And you will see why I believe that XRP, Bitcoin, things like Solana, HBAR, VeChain, now World Liberty Financial, which I'm shared with my academy, I'm accumulating, are going to change the way that we do finance. And here's the thing. Is that people come into these industries during this time and they try to get rich quick. They're waiting for a savior. They're waiting for a price prediction. But what you should do is you should study what billionaires do. They get in the markets, they stay in the markets. They build a long-term plan. They're not market sensitive. They're not emotional. They buy when it's red and they start to pull profits when it's green. And when they pull profits, they diversify into things that create cash flow because they know cash is trash. And they learn to beat inflation. Because I'll tell you what, interest rates lowering is going to look fantastic for the middle class because you can monetize more debt and they're going to put you in a deeper trap. But if you start to learn that the US dollar is just debt, you'll start to understand why being an investor in assets is so important. Your job is to beat inflation every single year. So I'm first going to give you a little hint to where I'm taking you on Friday in the videos, and then I'm going to show you how I believe Ripple is going to dominate the financial system. You can't FUD me in, you can't FUD me out. Facts, figures, numbers, logic. All right, the first thing I want to show you, and we're going to continue this on, we have a very special trailer that we're going to show you on Friday. It's going to be an interesting documentary coming out. So I was in a documentary called XRP Unleashed, rigged from the start. We exposed the SEC, and now we're showing truly what the Federal Reserve is. It's called Money Disrupted. We're going to show you the trailer on Friday, a documentary including me, Robert Kiyosaki, people like Jake Claver, Lynette Zhang, some of the top people, Gary Cardone, some of the top people out there in finances making a big impact and really exposing what the system truly is. So this is going to take us into Friday's video. New President Trump's latest post on Truth Social claims the Federal Reserve is broke and needs to be fixed. Okay. We'll continue that conversation on Friday. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you stay till the back end. I incessantly, annoyingly repeat exactly what I do. And so if you watch it over and over again, I will share with you if anything changes. Okay. So very important. I give you the whole blueprint every single day. Okay. So Monica Long posted this from Ripple. She says FLS want to offer crypto trading to their customers. This is precisely the type of service we can help them deliver with Ripple custody. Excited for the next chapter of our partnership with BBVA Spain. So Ripple posted this. So BBVA Spain, we're expanding our partnership with BBVA, bringing our institutional grade digital asset custody technology to Spain. Ripple, I told you guys since 2020, is going to become a bank. And I'm going to show you the actual bank charter application. Coinbase is going to be a bank. Ripple will be a bank. Okay. Kraken will be a bank. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase are going to become crypto banks. Okay. You're going to start to go into a decentralized environment. Now, the beautiful thing about that is the investments that I'm making are putting me in first position. Okay. Owning Bitcoin, XRP, Bitcoin is gold, the store of value. I've already leveraged my Bitcoin using DeFi to buy an insurance brokerage. I was in first position. I'm the bank. I used my own Bitcoin, never sold it, tax-free, to get a loan that grew by 36%. Imagine that. I made 36% on my loan. Actually, it's going to be paid off next month. We're already going to pay it off. And guess what I'm going to do again? Take low leverage and buy what? More cash flow. Okay. So this is the actual Ripple's National Bank Trust, or excuse me, Ripple National Trust Bank. This is going to be the name of their bank. This is the actual application to become a bank charter. Okay. So you can read through all this stuff. This is the type of stuff that I go through. This is how I make my investments, Warren Buffett style. You can't, like I said, you can't FUD me in, you can't FUD me out. I understand what I hold, and I'm going to continue. So here it is. Type of charter, they're going to be a national bank. Okay. Chartering agency would be the control of the currency, right? Special focus is trust. Okay. They're going to be a Federal Reserve status, a member bank. Here it is right here. Ripple National Trust Bank. There you go, guys. Pretty neat, right? This is what's happening. Okay. And then we know that the Gemini card came out for the XRP. So we have a Gemini card that came out. And then quickly after that, boom, NASDAQ commits 50 million to Gemini at IPO through private placement. The whole stock market is bullish on crypto. Wall Street is bullish on crypto. Your banks are now bullish on crypto. The whole White House is bullish on crypto. This is not tinfoil hat anymore. This is not conspiracy. This is real. Okay. So again, I want you to calm, take a deep breath. You have a good 6 years to figure this out. Bull run number one, you're in bull run number one, is learning. Okay. These people convincing you that if you have 3,000 XRP, 2,000 XRP, you're going to be, if you are, fantastic. I am 100% okay with being wrong with this because I want that for you. Trust me. But this is how I got wrecked in 2020. You know, I got caught up in all the riddlers and all this stuff, the flip of a switch people and all that stuff. And I was doing that too. You can go back and watch my videos. I was new to all this, right? And when I started to really study how billionaires operate, I'm like, nah, this is not the game. No get rich quick. That's not how it works. We're waiting for 589 and blah, blah, blah. And I was missing all these opportunities. And I built a system, cash flow, deflationary assets, protection, leverage, boom, repeat the process. So as everybody waited again for 4 years for the bull run to come back, when the bear market hit, I built a massive ecosystem. Okay. Then the bull run hit, Trump gets elected, feed the buckets. Now we're feeding the buckets in the system. It's going to hit again on the back end of this year. I'm going to fill the buckets and then we're going to accelerate that system. It's about cash flow. Okay. It's not about watching your portfolio go up and go down. It's not about waiting for something to hit. It's about understanding the infrastructural changes, looking forward to 2030, reverse engineering a game plan. What are you going to do daily? What are you going to do weekly? What are you going to do monthly? And sticking to that plan. Okay. This is an important saying. An idiot with a plan will do much better than a genius with no plan. Okay. There's a lot of smart people that don't have a plan. And I'm not the smartest cat in the world. I have severe dyslexia. I've always had to study harder than everybody else, but I got a plan and it works. Okay. So these are the types of things that's happening. I'll show you one more thing and then I'll bring you on my screen to show you exactly with what I'm doing. Just in, U.S. House Committee on Financial Services calls for Senate to pass Crypto Clarity Act. They're pushing this really, really hard. So what is the Crypto Clarity Act and how is that going to affect you? Okay. So the Crypto Clarity Act is going to give banks full clarity on how to custody crypto. You have the Genius Act, which is Genius Stablecoin Act. Okay. Which gives us clarity on stablecoins. Trump now has the number one performing stablecoin, USD1. Ripple has RLUSD. We have USDT, which is Tether. Bo Hine stepped down. He went to go help Tether come into the US. And genius. Stablecoins use treasuries. Wow. Awesome. Trump, just boom. Russia's now, oh shit. Russia confirmed everything I've been saying. They are using stablecoins to make America the most dominant currency for a much longer. And they're using Bitcoin to shrink the balance sheet. I've been saying that on my channel for 3 years now. Okay. We nailed it. So here's how we're doing it. Okay. I'm going to give you my exact plan. First of all, this is what the markets are looking like. Okay. We shared with people inside of our academy. Everybody said September was going to be bumpy. We actually told people September was going to be pretty bullish, right? And it's happening. ETH just went back up over 4,400. Bitcoin's back up to 114. The markets are green. So we'll see if we're right over the next 2 weeks, right? It's usually September's a little bumpy, but there was the eclipse and usually it goes opposite of the eclipse. So Jackie is absolutely amazing. Gonzo and our academy are amazing. So we're always updating people within our academy on this, okay? October will start to go up. November should fly. December should fly. Okay. So that's why we have a profit plan. We pull profits. We don't watch our cryptos go up and go down. So let's break this down. Bitcoin, we're putting it off to the side. We're going to focus on 4 categories. We got our cash flow. Cash is trash. Okay. If you don't beat inflation, you're going to become poor every single year. So I transmute my cash into cash flow. When I cash flow, I move it into deflationary assets that have fixed supplies. I use Bitcoin, XRP. I dollar cost average into Bitcoin and XRP every single day. I buy Solana every single month, and I'll share with you in just a moment my top 6 cryptos. Okay. Then I monthly pump money into my premiums, my cash value life insurance, which creates a bank component. Okay. Over here, I have 2 leverage components. Remember how we put Bitcoin off to the side? Bitcoin's sitting in the leverage category. I got Bitcoin as my bank. I'm never selling my Bitcoin. And I have an insurance bank over here. Okay. So what happens is I move my cash flow every day. Boom, boom, boom. So when you're getting crushed by inflation, I'm increasing over the long term my assets because I'm putting into assets that crush inflation. So when we hit a bull run, no panic. It goes up. I use Merlin. I have my exit targets and I go to my exchange and exit. I slowly exit on the way up. Remember, it's altcoins, no Bitcoin. We're not exiting Bitcoin. So altcoins go up. I exit 50% of them. And then I stuff the cash value life insurance. Now, why would I do that? Richest man in Babylon. Okay. So now I put $1 in, I made 10. I take out 5, I stuff 250 into the policy. Now the 250 can be leveraged, creating money 3 different ways. $1 became 3 different components. $1 became 10, pulled profits 50%, put it into the policy. Now I can leverage, now we're on the bank side. Now I can leverage tax-free at around 5% per year. $100,000 would be $5,000. That is very cheap money. And then what can I do? Pew! Go buy more cash flow, cash generating dividends. You can get into synthetic options like that are high risk, high return, then de-risk. There's medium risk. You go to Michael Saylor. You got I'm going to get the tickers wrong. Sorry. If you go to Michael Saylor, he has like a STFR, STX guaranteed. Some are 8, some are guaranteed 10%. You have some stocks that are in the Magnificent Seven that are not synthetic. They're actually buying the asset, which you get access to dividends, right? So Warren Buffett style. Okay. I'm always buying cash flow. So cash flow goes into deflationary assets that have fixed supplies ops to the US dollar. Because guys, let's be honest with each other. Okay. What's going to happen? Okay. So you're probably like, what the hell? How do I do an exit plan? So I'm the co-founder and creator of this. These are all the exchanges you can attach here. The cool thing is safety is this is an interface. Okay. Look at this. You can look at all your assets all in one place. You don't have to go onto your exchanges. You can look at your exchanges in one place. It pulls them all into one place. Nobody can hack this. If they hack it, they're hacking data. They're not hacking your exchange. We're not attached to your crypto. We can't touch your crypto. We don't have your keys. We don't have your combos. And you have your news based on your cryptocurrencies. Okay. And we teach you how to do it. You're like, well, what is a profit plan? We have actual videos. We have education on how to do everything. And you're stuck. Boom. We have actual customer service that will call you. We are one of the best in customer service. It is Merlin's smartest way to track crypto. You can download it down below. You can try it for 30 days for free. Try it before you buy it. I warn you not to try it. No, I warn you to try it. But I'm telling you what, my warning is you will keep it because it's absolutely amazing. So click the link in my bio on social media or down below. Okay. All right. So let's talk about my toxics. I'm just going to be honest with you guys on everything that I do. Okay. So, and as things change, I'll continue to update you. So my top 6 cryptos are XRP by a long shot. Okay. For my company and personally. Okay. So we have a company treasury and then I have my personal. Okay. I have XRP by a long shot. Bitcoin's number 2. Solana's number 3. I just have to close my eyes to remember which is it's either XLM, HBAR. So XLM, HBAR, and then VeChain. So it'd be XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, XLM, HBAR, VeChain. That's my top 6. I hold many other cryptocurrencies. My top 3 that I'm continuing to focus on, and I'm going to be adding one more to this category. I'll share with you guys in just a moment. I am dollar cost averaging every day into XRP, Bitcoin, and monthly into Solana. I added WLFI, which is Trump's DeFi bank. I added a chunk when it launched. Okay. I got on the pre-launch too, and I added a chunk when it launched, and I'm actually dollar cost averaging weekly. So I got daily with Bitcoin and XRP, monthly with Solana, and weekly now with WLFI based on the price. Okay. I believe WFI. This is my own research. I've read the gold paper. I've dove into it. I've studied, I studied obviously the Trump family, the Witkoff family. I understand that Howard Lutnick is connected to Trump through being the Commerce Secretary. You got Cantor that gives loans to crypto banks. Howard Lutnick's going to be a billionaire in cryptocurrency and in Bitcoin this year. I mean, you got to understand what's going on, guys. They're changing the game. They're dismantling the central bank. They're literally dismantling the central bank. They created World Liberty Financial, and when you own the token, you have governance in it. Okay. So that feels attractive to me. It feels good to me. But do you see how I explain to you why I do my investments? Then when I get into something, I'm a long-term holder with a short-term exit plan within profit. So I'll do the same thing with my World Liberty Financial. If I get large appreciation on the back end of the year, I will pull profits. I pull profits. I don't believe in going up and going down because I build these ecosystems outside. Okay. Now you have to look at short-term capital gains, long-term capital gains. There's ways you can mitigate taxes or certain different things. But anyways, I just wanted to share that. That's my portfolio there. Okay. So we got the four things: cash flow, deflationary assets, protection, and leverage. Okay. Then I have a trust over that as well. So the thing that's important about this, do you see how I'm explaining a system? So if I asked you, what's your ecosystem? 99.9% of people I ask that, they have no clue. They're like, what do you mean? So how do you invest? Well, I just buy because I saw this person say that. No. That's not how it works. You have to have a system. You have to have a process. You have to be disciplined. If I asked you, what are your debts and non-negotiables? What do you mean? What are your bills? What are your exact bills every single month? How much goes in? How much goes out? If you can't answer that question, you're going to get wrecked. Because what's going to happen is if you don't know what's going in and going out and you don't have a system for your finances, okay, when you get a liquidity event, because you just need one big liquidity event in cryptocurrency or any type of asset, that's how people become rich. Look at Warren Buffett, Coca-Cola, the Apple, NVIDIA, Amazon. These people had this big liquidity event and then they built the system. I built the system and then had a liquidity event. Okay. Because I got pissed. They literally shut my business down. They took away my ability to take care of my family. I got pissed as a man, finally grew up and said, F that. Nobody's ever going to be able to take away my ability to take care of my family. So now, if we have another pandemic, they shut down my businesses. I got cash flow. I have insurance. I have leverage. or if the markets come collapsing down, I have 30% of my wealth insured. Everybody's down trying to recover. I got 30% on everybody, and I can borrow against those assets to get the flywheel going again because I know how to create cash. So my point is, you got to have a system. An idiot with the system will do much better than a genius with no system. Okay. I have a system for my health. I have a system for my spiritual walk. I have a system for my finances. I have very specific categories that I study. For example, in finances, I study Ray Dalio, Kathy Woods. There's a common thread between these people: Ray Dalio, Kathy Woods, Robert Kiyosaki, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett. I probably watched this last week almost 40 hours of content on just Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. Okay. I study the billionaires. I study what they're doing. I study the moves that they make. I study how they invest. Okay. I watch the moves that they're making. I'm really trying to analyze why Buffett went heavy into cashed out, I think, 50% of Apple. And now he's going into, I think it's Lennar Homes, right? He's doing a huge investment in new home build. My analytic mind says, okay, he anticipates rates are going to be coming down. People are going to be heavily going into new homes, trying to get access to buying a home before we go into this damn hyperinflation. Because you guys, you can't print money in a lower interest rate environment. Like, they're going to print so much money, it's going to make your head spin. Okay. In a low interest rate environment without eventually having inflation. Okay. So the economy is going to boom coming here. And you got to take advantage. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this coin in 2029, guys. So I'm going to be stacking Bitcoin, stacking XRP. Okay. Looking at other assets that are going to beat inflation. That's the key. So first, you shouldn't even get into crypto or into an asset without understanding inflation. If you understand inflation, you'll start to go, oh, that's what he's talking about. So I got obsessed with understanding that. The Federal Reserve in 1913 was created, which is not federal nor reserve, and tariffs stopped in 1913. Think about that. The Federal Reserve has created a group of bankers on Jekyll Island that created a system that balances our job markets and money supply, that feeds the banks. The banks take our money and lend it out 9 times over. No new money was created. You being in debt is the system. That's it. The American dream is you being in debt. And that's why they want to lower interest rates, because nobody can afford anything, because there's no new money creation. There's no new value created. They can just give you debt. So all you're going to do is you're going to go refinance your car, refinance your house. There's nothing, no new creation. It's a Ponzi scheme. So the elites know that. That's why they're stacking Bitcoin, because it's a fixed supply, 21 million, 95% of the supply is gone, 5% is left. And guess who owns it? BlackRock, Strategy B, which is used to be MicroStrategies. BlackRock is a top 3 holder in Strategy B, Grayscale, America, China, and now Russia's like, oh shit. Uh-oh. They're going to use Bitcoin to shrink their balance sheet. Now, how does that work? They're going to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, right? They're going to buy it in a budget neutral way. They're going to stack Bitcoin. And imagine if Bitcoin goes up on average 50% every single year. What asset climbs 50% every single year? That's crazy. So then what they do is they monetize the balance sheet. They borrow against the asset, they buy more assets, and they can shrink the balance sheet like that, guys, because they're going to grow their way out of the economy with tariffs coming in. Tons of money is going to come to the economy. The job markets are going to boom. Okay. But remember, everything's a cycle. This is important. Have you ever seen a market go straight up? No. We had 1929 collapse. Okay. We all went through the 2007 to 2008 collapse. Our parents got rocked. Their 401ks got rocked. We all went through the pandemic. There is never a market that goes straight like this. Okay. So don't get caught up in the hype. Learn how to surf this wave. Okay. When everybody's trying to catch the big kahuna, you should be pulling some profits, man. When that thing comes collapsing down and everybody's panicking, that's when you should be buying. I loved when the SEC sued Ripple. Everybody went running from XRP. The price plummeted. I was like, yes, because I knew what I held. Even back then, I knew what I held. I even did a video said I'm holding on like a tick on a dog. And it changed my family's life. And the essence of that story is conviction. Conviction. I have conviction holding my Bitcoin. It doesn't matter what people put in the comments down there. I'm personally using it to build wealth for my family. So that doesn't matter what somebody comments, because I don't know what their paradigm is, right? I believe in the World Liberty Financial Token, so I'm buying it. There's no hype. There's no like, oh, this is the best thing ever. It's like, I understand. I read the gold paper. I see what he's doing. He's dismantling the central bank. He has the fastest growing stable coin in the world now. He's using that to balance out the collapsing bond market. It's called the Genius Act for a reason, guys. He's playing chess. They're playing checkers. And it was like, checkmate, dink. He's going to go down as one of the greatest economic presidents in the world. It's just a fact, guys. You can be emotional about this. You can get pissed off. This isn't about politics. This is about, he's a businessman. He's a businessman. Now, I have sovereignty, man. I have sovereignty of my soul, right? I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm not up. I'm down. It's God and Jesus Christ for me. And as I said, who do we pay our taxes to? He said, who's on the coin? They said, Caesar. So pay your taxes to Caesar. Give to God what is his. Give to me what is mine. I pay my taxes. I just make more money. I build more freedom. I build more resources. I provide more jobs. And I enjoy my life. I spend a lot of time with my family. I spend a lot of time at the lake. I spend a lot of time in nature. I spend a lot of time going to places like Peru. And I thank God for everything that I have. Everybody's like, I got to avoid taxes. You got to just start making income. You got to start making money. You got to start understanding that $20, it's $20 is laying on the ground. It has no emotion. It doesn't care about you. It has zero emotion, zero energy. It says $20 because we think it's $20. Whoever picks it up gives it energy, gives it vibration. That's it. I could pick it up off the ground, and now I become the master of that $20. The money is not your master. You don't work for money. Money works for you. Another person could pick that up, and it's master. You're like, oh, I want to be a millionaire because I want status and I want people to look at me. I want the Miami popping bottles and all that stuff. Another person can pick it up and create resources, employment, and get out in nature with their family and do things. But it doesn't matter. One's not greater than the other. The $20, the $1 million doesn't give a shit about you. There's no emotion. What matters is what you do with it. What matters is the system that you create. So that's why I say this. And this is why I live this. God, family, protect your ecosystem at all costs. I stay out of other men's business because I'm too busy working on mine. I could give a shit less what some other man is doing that's not in my ecosystem. It has nothing to do with me. I built my systems financially, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And I got too much time on my hands, man. If I'm in your business, I got too much time. All these points are really important because that's how you build wealth. Okay. So we got this, family. Let's lock in. Let's dial in. I've gotten a lot of questions too, and I don't talk about the academy on here very much because people organically find it often. If you want to work with us, right, me personally or my ecosystem, if you click the link down below, you can set up a free discovery call with my team. So I've just gotten so many messages. Be careful of scammers, guys. We do not invest people's crypto. I'll never proactively reach out to you and ask about your crypto. QFS counts are a scam. I am not communicating with you on social. I'm not proactively reaching out to you on social. Now, if you reach out to us on my actual socials, we'll go back and forth, but I'm not going to ask you to send me crypto. I'm not going to invest your crypto. We do not invest people's money. We're an education platform. We teach people how to be empowered and how to fish. So down below, if you want to set an appointment with my team, you'll see that. I love you guys very, very much. I appreciate you. And as we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. God bless you.